Should probably plug my microphone up. All right, I think we're live. All right, what is up, full-time family? This is just going to be a quick recap of UFC Liverpool that just ended. We're also going to go over some of the topics that have been going on in the MMA world. I saw Habib had responded to Conor and stuff like that. So we're going to get into that after the results and recap of UFC Liverpool that just ended. So let's jump straight into the Fight Pass prelims. We had Elias Theodorou taking on Trevor Smith. Elias Theodorou won that fight via unanimous decision. That's his second win in a row, I believe. And so Elias Theodorou, man, this fight wasn't the most exciting, but it was still a solid performance for Elias Theodorou, who's also an Invicta ring boy, if you didn't know. He's now 4-1 in his last 5 fights. So, yeah, I'm sure he's going to be looking probably for a top 15 ranked opponent in his next fight. But, yeah, that was the first fight of Liverpool. I know everybody's really interested in fucking Darren Till versus Stephen Thompson. I want to know what you guys have to think about that. So let's just fast forward through this stuff, but we're still going to take a look at the fights. We had live stats. We had Molly McCann versus Jillian Robertson. Holy smokes, that fight was pretty entertaining and surprising for me. Molly McCann came in as one of the only fighters from UFC Liverpool, or from Liverpool. She came in as the Cage Warriors champion. She has 2 wins over Lucy Pudilova. So she had just fought higher level opponents. Coming in Cage Warriors champion, she was the only fighter on the entire card that had fought in the Echo Arena previously, and she came in here and got low-key exposed by Jillian Robertson. Jillian Robertson took her down a little into, like 2 minutes into the first round. Like the entire second half of the first round, Jillian Robertson was controlling on the ground. So once the second round came, she was like, shit, by all means, I'm taking this fight back to the ground. That was free money down there. So she was trying to pull guard, do whatever she needed to do to get Molly McCann down to the ground. And Molly McCann was trying to avoid it like there was a shark in the water. But the second time Jillian Robertson went for the takedown attempt or pulled guard on Molly McCann, whatever she needed to do to get the fight to the floor, it was successful. And she just dominated the fight from there on out. So that was a surprising result for me. I thought Molly McCann was going to come in here and get a W in front of the home crowd, you know, fought higher level competition, but Jillian Robertson got the job done. So that was huge. Big win for her. We had William Scott versus Carlo Pedersoli. Carlo Pedersoli took this fight on 1 week's notice. Bradley Scott had a few opponent changes due to injury and whatnot. Carlo Pedersoli took this fight. Before this, he had a split decision win over Nicholas Dalby, and he won this fight via split decision. But Carlo Pedersoli, he was throwing a lot of entertaining strikes. If they would have connected, he could have definitely had like a highlight reel knockout, that's for sure. Carlo Pedersoli came in throwing a lot of spinning kicks to Bradley Scott's dome piece and shit like that, but they weren't really connecting. But if they would have, it would have been crazy. But what was connecting was some nice body kicks from Carlo Pedersoli. So he went on to win that fight via split decision. Moving on, we had Lena Landsberg defeated Gina Mazzani via unanimous decision, if I'm not mistaken. She, third round, you know, she might have been a little out of gas, but she was able to still land effective strikes in the clinch, went on to win the fight. We had Tom Breeze with the big knockout over Daniel Kelly in the first round in his return to the octagon. That was a big knockout for him. He was out for a couple of years, I believe, but he got the big knockout in front of his home crowd in England. We had Darren Stewart, the dentist, with a fucking big TKO. What was that, in the second round? Yeah, over Eric Spicely. Eric Spicely, if the fight got to the mat, would have had the clear advantage. He submitted a lot of guys, and Darren Stewart was coming into this fight on a 3-fight losing streak, and he lost 1 or 2 by submission. So Eric Spicely was the favorite coming into this fight. But he was also on a 2-fight losing streak, but still had the advantage as far as the grappling was concerned. But Darren Stewart was able to avoid getting taken down, shrugged off Eric Spicely in the clinch, ended up scoring a big second-round KO, got very emotional after the fight, knew he was fighting for his job, essentially, his career, on a 3-fight losing streak in front of his home crowd. If he would have lost that fight, Darren Stewart potentially could have been cut from the UFC. But now he'll probably get to live to fight another day in the UFC with that KO, you know, as a finish, second-round finish in front of his home crowd. So he needed that win, and he got it. So, yeah, Darren Stewart, congratulations to him. Next, we had Claudio Silva with the win over Nordine Taleb. Man, Claudio Silva had not fought in, I believe, 4 years. I believe he took 4 years off before this fight. Nordine Taleb was looking solid in his last 2 performances. Claudio Silva came in here, He wasn't able to really get it done with the striking at first. Nordin Caleb was catching all of his kicks and, just really making it look easy, coming back with power. After he would catch his kicks, he would try and, just hunt him down, stalk him down. Let me shut this door before my nieces start making too much noise out there. But Claudio Silva was able to come in and get the submission in the first round, which was very unexpected. He was like a 3-1 underdog coming into this coming into UFC Liverpool. Claudio Silva was. He had been out, like I said, for like 4 years, but he got the win. He was saying something to Brazil. I knew going into this fight, like, he was born in Brazil. He was Brazilian clearly, but he had been living in England for like the last 10 years. So, that was him like letting Brazil know, like, don't forget about me and shit. I got some jiu-jitsu still. Like, he put it down for Brazil or for wherever he's from at this point. But yeah, it was a solid win for Claudio Silva for sure. Unexpected. We had Jason motherfucking Knight, Mississippi Mean Dog, with the 2 knockdowns in the first round. Are you kidding me? One second. Hey, go upstairs, Ashley. Sorry about that. All right. But holy smokes, Jason Knight, man, there was trash talk before the fight, during the fight, after the fight. They earned each other's respect. Jason Knight came through fucking with the 2 big knockdowns in the first round. But other than that, man, he wasn't doing enough when he got took down in the second and third round. He was holding that rubber guard, just throwing kicks and landing strikes, but wasn't enough to win the fight if he lost the second round. Going into I had the first round for Jason Knight. After those 2 big knockdowns in a row, that was huge. And he followed those up with submission attempts instead of like trying to get some TKO off of it. Like when you got a guy, you knock a guy down, you usually try and follow it up, get the TKO when he's hurt. But Jason Knight's really in love with his jiu-jitsu. Clearly, he loves his rubber guard. He loves his jiu-jitsu. That's what he was going for, an arm bar, a triangle choke. But when he wasn't able to get it, Makwan Amirkhani was able to win the decision. So with that being said, that's how that fight went. Makwan Amirkhani had John Kavanagh in his corner, and he was training out of SBG Ireland. His nickname, Mr. Finland. Before the fight, I was looking into it. He had been out himself. He was out for a year, a little over a year, almost 2 years himself. There were a lot of fighters coming into UFC Liverpool making their return. Like, there were some guys that would a guy out for 4 years making his return, a guy out for 2 years making his return, and they both fucked around and won their fight. Shook like ring rust ain't nothing. And Jason Knight, man, he's fucking 24 years old, 25 fights now professionally. He's no slouch, but now he's on a 3-fight losing streak. But he's a hell of a personality, very entertaining. But the thing is, where is this place going to be in the UFC, man? Got to round out his game. Maybe just it seemed like a fight IQ thing there for me, just in the third round specifically, because in that third round, Jason Knight, even if he was down, he got taken down. When you're locking up that rubber guard and stalling the fight there, unless you're waiting for the ref to stand up the fight, which, I mean, that's not really a good plan. Like, you got to try and stand up. You got to try and do something to win the round. You can't just hold him on top of you. You're letting him eat the clock up. So Jason Knight went on to lose the decision after scoring those 2 huge knockdowns in the first round. Bro, when he got those 2 knockdowns, I jumped out of my seat like, let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about, because he was one of my favorite fighters, still is, but the wheels are definitely falling off. By the way, before that moment, before he got the 2 knockdowns in the first round, Makwan Amirkhani landed a couple big right hooks. So that was a fun fight. Jason Knight, doing his Hick Diaz thing, talking trash in the fight, super exciting until the end when he was just holding the rubber guard position. But Makwan Amirkhani got the W, so, big win for him in his UFC return. We had Arnold Allen. Man, he almost lost this fight. Matt Burnell came in looking like a bulldozer, taking Arnold Allen down at will, fucking holding him upside down. If he had any change in his pockets, it probably would have fell out for Arnold Allen. But at the end of the fight, or in round 3, 2 minutes left, he was able to lock in a front choke, and it was in. He followed it all the way to the ground, had the choke locked in. Matt Burnell was forced to tap after dominating the majority of the fight. Big win for Arnold Allen with the 3rd round submission, which I believe took us to the co-main event. Yep. Neil Magny versus Craig White. Craig White took the fight on short notice. Neil Magny needed an opponent after Gunnar Nelson was forced out. Jorge Masvidal was going to step up, but he could only make 180 pounds. So Neil Magny was like, nah, man, we're welterweights. I need an opponent. and he won the fight versus Craig White, who was from England. He was 14-7 coming into the fight, but Craig White had finished all 14 of his wins. So he came out swinging, guns blazing, and Neil Magny expected that coming in. Neil Magny, though, did what he needed to do, remain patient, got the TKO after a big knee to the face in the first round. And then he also donated $15,000 of his winnings to a little girl, 1-year-old girl in need, which was also super dope from Neil Magny. And on the microphone, he also called out Kamaru Usman, something a lot of fighters don't do. So Neil Magny's stock, even though he beat a guy that you could consider a if you're talking about UFC caliber, Neil Magny still got a solid W and probably still gained some fans in that performance. Now, and I know there's probably the fucking UFC. You probably got the post-fight press conference and all of that going on right now. I realize that. So I know a lot of people who would probably like to be here aren't here right now because there's a lot of other shit going on. But I just wanted to do a quick post-fight analysis of what we just saw, especially this fight right here, Stephen Thompson versus Darren Till. Darren Till, man, winner by decision, unanimous. This is where I got to pull up the chat because I want to know what you guys have to say about this right here. What did you guys think about the decision? I low-key thought it was about to go to a split. I mean, what did you guys think about the fight? Not only the fight, but what about the decision? Like, the fight wasn't the most entertaining. It had its moments. It really reminded me of Woodley versus Wonderboy 2. And not even Woodley versus Wonderboy 1. I thought Woodley versus Wonderboy 1 was a more exciting fight than this. Woodley did a lot more damage, got closer to finishing that fight in the first fight with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But as far as entertainment, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to go back and watch Stephen Thompson versus Darren Till, just on a Saturday night or something, UFC and chill. I don't think this is going to be the one you throw on if you got some new friends over, some casual fans. It's definitely not for them. There was a lot of, back and forth, just, how it's the Holly Holm, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson style, right? Of, you're a counter striker. So, but there was Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I will give him credit, though. He blitzed in a couple of times and landed a couple shots, threw a couple combos at Darren Till, 2 or 3 times throughout the fight. So that was pretty dope. But as far as octagon control was concerned, Darren Till had that. I mean, so that's one thing I did have for Darren Till. He was controlling the center of the octagon as, for a lot of the fight because Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is that counter striker. So if Darren Till's coming forward, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's waiting for that perfect opportunity to land one of those counter strikes. He was landing some shots, but so was Darren Till. Darren Till really did some damage to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's fucking leg. Did you guys see that bruise? You guys see that fucking bruise that was on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's leg? He was doing some damage with those kicks at first, but after, Darren Till did some work on that leg, he seemed like he slowed his kicks down a little bit. But, yeah, so Darren Till was landing some strikes, had a knockdown in the 5th round. That was big. That probably won in the fight, honestly. Going into the 5th round, it wasn't clear. Nobody was dominating. It was a close fight. My brother, the microwave, thought Stephen Wonderboy Thompson had won 3 rounds going into the 5th. He thought Wonderboy won the fight. I know a lot of people probably agree, but you never know what the judges are scoring for. Darren Till probably had octagon control. He had a huge knockdown in the 5th round. So you can't be mad at the decision. Well, you can be. So I'm curious to see what you guys got to say about this. Let's see. My boy CHS Combat Sports said close fight. What's up, Coach? What's up, Coach? And by the way, if anybody wants to hop in here, you can for sure. DC said it should have been 49-48, if anything. That was a gift, someone said. Yeah, like passing the torch low key. Darren Till's young, got a lot of potential. But the thing about that is, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, if he would have won, and bro, you said Till. I know, yeah, I picked Till to win the fight. I low-key thought he was going to get the knockout, though. I didn't expect it to go to decision like that. But hey, it is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Got to be careful. Can't get you can't get counter-struck in there, fucking blitz in and get knocked out, and all of this for nothing, right? Darren Till had a lot of promo going into this fight. He had his own fucking embedded for this joint, low-key, and he missed weight coming in, though. So that's another thing you got to consider. But as far as what's next, though, let's think about what's next for Wonderboy and Till. Wonderboy, you know what I thought about? I thought about this. Let me know what y'all think about this. Wonderboy versus fucking Lawler. That's a fight Wonderboy wanted not too long ago. Lawler, he probably looking to come back sometime soon. He definitely ain't retired. that's a fight we could see now. That's a legit top welterweight fight sometime in the future. But for Darren Till, he missed weight. He clearly can't get an immediate title shot. I see my boy Grand Swing Sports said Usman versus Till. I would like that fight, but I don't know if the UFC is gonna. I don't know if the UFC is gonna want to make that fight, or if Darren Till's team. I know Darren Till has said he's down in the past, but I don't know if his team's gonna want that Usman fight right now. Now that he just beat the #1 contender, I think we'll probably hear something about Darren Till wanting to fight up. Even though I don't think Darren Till becomes the #1 contender, to be honest, though. I don't think he does. I think now he becomes the #2. Even though he just beat the #1 contender, the fact that Darren Till missed weight, I think when they do the UFC rankings, I think Darren Till is going to be the #2, and RDA gets bumped up to the #1 contender. Because also we got RDA and Colby Covington fighting for an interim title coming up at UFC 225, which is going to be an insane card. Can't wait. Fucking, I think that's next weekend. If it is, that's dope. But with that being said, Colby Covington and RDA, the winner's likely going to fight Tyron Woodley, which means we still got Darren Till. We got Usman up there. But the thing about Usman, the Usman versus Till fight you're saying, is Usman broke both of his hands. I mean, against Damian Maia. So we'll see what happens, man. But Darren Till, he could be, if we'll see what happens with Kamaru Usman's hand injury. But check this out. If Kamaru Usman, both of his hands are actually broken right now, and we don't know the extent of that injury, but if he can't come back for a while, Darren Till could still be fighting for a title next, even though he missed weight. Just because there's no other after Woodley fights, let's just say if RDA beats Covington, right? If Rafael Dos Anjos can beat Colby Covington, if Woodley fights RDA, then there's no clear-cut #1 contender next, except for Darren Till, depending on when Usman comes back. But we could see Darren Till versus Usman next. Gabriel John said RDA versus Till. That'd be a good fight, man. But I'm probably going with Till. I'm probably going with Till, man. You say what you want. You still gotta. Darren Till, he was able to get the job done. I mean, did you guys agree with the decision? I mean, versus Wonderboy Thompson, it's impressive. Wonderboy Thompson, you got that style. It's hard to figure out. The Gorilla, let's go, Pablo Platinum Escobar. We in this joint. Who are the top 5 guys right now in the weight class? Here, I'll pull that up. UFC fighter rankings. 1 second. I know we got Tyron Woodley, the champion. #1 was Wonderboy. We have #2 is RDA, 3 is Robbie Lawler, and 3 is Colby Covington. They're both 3, and 5 is Kamaru Usman. So Kamaru Usman's probably about to get bumped out of the top 5 low key because Darren Till is moving on up, and whenever Darren Till moves up, he'll probably move up to rank #2. Put Stephen Wonderboy Thompson probably ranked like he's going to go down, but I don't know if Wonderboy will go out of the top 5. I think Wonderboy will probably go down to like rank #5, right above Kamaru Usman or some shit like that. I don't know. We'll see whenever the ranking updates comes out. But yeah, man, Robbie Lawler's up in the top 5, and he might fight for the title. He's coming off of a win, but he'll probably need 1 more fight. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see. Cam Murphy said, no, I don't think Till should have won except for that 1 knockdown. That's it. Yeah, that knockdown in the 5th. But Wonderboy came out with the takedown in the 5th, low-key. Who expected that, though? I didn't. I was like, yo, did Wonderboy just steal the fight with that takedown? I thought I was scared. That's what I thought that takedown was going to make it a split decision, to be honest. At first, I was like, okay, after the knockdown, I was like, okay, Till just won the fight with that knockdown. He just won the fight with that knockdown. And then Wonderboy got the low-key half a takedown, and I was like, oh, shit, we still got to fight. That shit was crazy. Yoza L says, smoke one for your boy, man. London Taylor said, we call them Liverpoolian scousers in England. They know how to have a good scrap. Yeah, that was an interesting fight. Till was way more powerful, said Stockbrokerton. Man, it looked like his kicks were for sure the way Wonderboy's leg was bruised up like that. All these dudes need to fight too many contenders, he says. Yeah, man, we're going to have to get something shaken. But you know, a lot of these guys are veterans of the game. The veterans who aren't as active, you know, then it's kind of like, but for what Wonderboy was injured before this Darren Till fight. He was out for a while. You have Robbie Lawler, you know, he's well respected and stuff in the game, so he's not as active as of late. I think Robbie Lawler, he's coming off of that win over Donald Cowboy Cerrone, but other than that, there really hasn't been much noise from Robbie Lawler. Oh, okay, yeah, he lost to RDA. I remember that he had that 400 hit combo, but yeah, when was that? December of 2017, about 6 months ago. So yeah, man, when RDA comes back, or when Robbie Lawler comes back, he'll probably. I could for sure see a Wonderboy Thompson versus Robbie Lawler fight in the future. I think that'd be a fun fight as well. It's a fight Wonderboy has shown interest in the past. It'd be a high-profile fight. I think it'd be a big fight. So yeah, I think that'd be fun. We got Masvidal coming back soon though. Who's Masvidal gonna fight? Y'all saw Neil Magny called out Kamaru Usman. That's a fight we could see in the future. Because Kamaru Usman, when he comes back, I could easily see a lot of these top 5 guys being tied up. Now I do like the Kamaru Usman versus Darren Till fight, to be honest. I think that's the fight that makes the most sense for the fans and for the rankings right now. Kamaru Usman coming off of a dominant performance over Damian Maia. Darren Till's performance, man, honestly, you can't say it's that impressive just because a lot of people thought Stephen Thompson won the fight. And he missed weight coming into the fight. So that takes a little bit of, you know, off of it. Because even if you're thinking about a title fight for Darren Till, the fact that he missed weight makes it to where you can't really do that. You can't really you can't really give him a title fight right now. So unless there's no other options, that's the only way. So we'll see what happens with the welterweight rankings update. That's probably what we're gonna have to wait on. But yeah, man, the welterweight division is at least. I seen Tyron Woodley had a injury update not too long ago. He said he wants to come back, I believe, like August 4th potentially, somewhere around there. So if Tyron Woodley's ready to come back, I mean, the thing about that is, yeah, that's enough of the welterweight division. That's another topic for another day, man. But other than that. London Taylor said, hit that like button. Okay, yeah, that's definite. How many people we got watching? That's how many likes we should have in here. Stockbroker said, Wonderboy is boring as fuck. You said it, not me. You know, everybody, you know, Wonderboy's a guy you can't really criticize because everybody loves. But I will say this, his fights he just doesn't have the most exciting fighting style, right? It's that karate style. It's Holly Holm. If somebody doesn't play your game, if somebody fights you smart, that takes you out of your element. And for one, it turns it into a boring fight if you refuse to go out of your element. Like let's say someone like Tyron Woodley. If I'm not coming into your counter striking, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? Are we both just going to stand and look at each other, or are you going to charge forward? Because that's their only game. So unless someone plays into their game, but that's the thing, though. I think Wonderboy, you know, kind of knows fans are starting to realize, you know, his fights aren't the most exciting. And this is just my thoughts. And so it's because I seen him blitz a couple of times that you don't see in all of his fights. The Masvidal fight, now that was fun. You know, Masvidal, he's a veteran of the game, former lightweight and stuff like that. But that was a good performance from Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But when you think about the 2 fights versus Tyron Woodley, that's what this fight more reminded me of, the Darren Till fight. I was really reminded of the Tyron Woodley fights. But yeah, man, not the most exciting style, but still, it's a hard style to figure out. And Till had to respect it, that's for sure. But how about that takedown? Stoneheart said Till missing weight is BS and the win is still questionable. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it would be hard to give Darren Till an immediate title shot off of that performance. I think Darren Till versus Kamaru Usman would make a lot of noise. But my thing is that, like I said, that's the fight we might want. But what about Darren Till's camp? You know, is that the fight Darren Till in his camp want? You know, not even Darren Till. Darren Till, I'm sure he'd be down to give it a go. But, it's probably, man, it'd be a tough fight, that's for sure. We'll see how Darren Till does against a high-level wrestler like Kamaru Usman, who I'm sure is looking. And see, this is the thing, though, right? Because Neil Magny just called out Kamaru Usman. So does Neil Magny now or does Kamaru Usman now say, nah, man, I'm trying to get a higher-ranked opponent? Or does he end up, you know, given the opportunity that he was just given by Damian Maia, right? If Damian Maia didn't give Kamaru Usman that opportunity to fight a higher-ranked opponent, he'd still be looking up the rankings. But now he got that opportunity. So now does he give that same opportunity to Neil Magny now that he's called him out? Or does he just try and hold out for a higher-ranked opponent? He's got an injury to deal with. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this welterweight division plays out now for sure. But it's a good thing we got an interim title fight coming up at UFC 225 between Colby Covington and RDA, because the winner of that fight is probably going to fight Tyron Woodley for sure. And then the loser of that fight, depending on how bad they lose, they could be another opponent for Darren Till. That's another option. We'll see what happens. But I was thinking, though, one thing was thinking, like, wouldn't it have been crazy if, like, let's say Steve Wonderboy Thompson won, right? And so he's #1 contender still, and Colby Covington beats RDA. Like, if could you imagine, like, the opposites of Colby Covington versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson? Like, if Colby Covington beat Tyron Woodley or something, and Wonderboy was the #1 contender, like, you got the grade A #1 asshole Colby Covington versus the grade A #1 nice guy Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I just wonder how that would go. Like, not even the fight, just like the lead up, the build up, and stuff like that. Like, that would just be interesting as heck to me. So yeah, that's fun. Pablo Platinum Escobar said Till versus Lawler or Maya even. Yeah, Lawler versus Till, that'd be fun for sure. Anything to just make him bigger and bigger star. But the thing about Lawler is Lawler's coming off that loss to RDA. So that might, because I think Till's at a point where he's going to have to fight smart fights. Like, right now, people are going to criticize him even for this Wonderboy win. And so to build him as a star, if he beats Robbie Lawler, people are going to say, yeah, you just beat a guy coming off of a loss. Some people could say that. So I think he's probably going to – but we'll see what happens, though. But, yeah, I like the Till versus Lawler fight. I think that could be fireworks. Yeah, that'd be a super good fight. We'll see what happens with Till, man. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna end this soon after we go over some of the news, because I low key want to see what. Well, they asked him on the mic. I want to see if he called anyone out at the post fight press conference. But they asked him on the mic if there's any names he had in mind, and he said anybody, nobody. Like, what? God Flawless said, sorry, full time. Holly Holmes is more of a striker boxer than a karate person. Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying that she's a karate style. I just more of a counter striking style. She's more of a counter striker, it seems. That's what I mean by that. Not the most exciting performances unless someone forces it out of you and really comes forward. Grand Swing Sports said Usman Till is next. Winner gets Colby RDA versus Woodley. Hey, if we get Usman versus Till, bro, that's going to be a fucking MMA fan's dream. Like, that would be a great fight for us hardcore MMA fans, for the people that really keep up with the sport. That's the fight that makes the most sense for the next #1 contender, in my opinion. Kamaru Usman versus Darren Till. But we'll see if that's how it plays out. Stoneheart, I honestly see Colby wrestling the hell out of RDA. I do too, bro. I think Colby Covington should probably be the favorite, but I think right now he's an underdog. But Colby Covington, his wrestling, man, fighting, going against RDA, the guy coming up from lightweight, and RDA lost to Habib in the past. We saw how the fight with Habib went. Now he's going against the bigger wrestler. I think Colby Covington's got some problems from RDA, but we shall see. Cam Murphy said if Till had TKO'd Wonderboy in the first 3 rounds, I'd be a bit more excited about him. But until he beats someone big in the first 3 rounds, yeah, me too, man. I thought Till was going to come in here and get possibly a 3rd round knockout, 2nd round knockout, and then people wouldn't even fucking, remember he missed weight. They'd be ready to see Till fight for the title. If he got an impressive win like that, then he would have, still been in title talks. But the fact that he missed weight and it was a close, controversial decision like that, I agree with you. He might now need one more fight to fight for the title. Kaka Brown Nicholas said MMA Fast Topics is stomping your neck on Patreon. Actually, he's not, man. My Patreon's killing his shit too, bro. But no free promotion. So I'm going to remove that comment, and now you know. With that being said, though, let's check out some of this MMA news that's going on. I really wanted to see what Khabib had to say to Conor. Other than that, I'm probably going to get off of here for now, and then we'll just make some separate news videos like normal MMA fighting. Let's check out MMA fighting. UFC Liverpool, Julian Roberts chokes Molly McCann unconscious. Yeah, that fight, that was fucking surprising to me, man. That Molly McCann fight, I did not expect that. I'll just go to Khabib's Instagram. Khabib. Message for Conor McGregor. The game has changed. This is what Khabib had to say to Conor McGregor. By the way, John Kavanaugh was in the building. We saw him in the corner of Makwan Amirkhani. Also, Dana White said he was going to be meeting with Conor McGregor at UFC Liverpool to talk about his future. So that's some news that could be coming out shortly after this event. How Dana White's talks with Conor McGregor went, what they've got planned, what's going on there. So that's something you got to stay tuned for. Stoneheart said, all right, bro, I'm out. Peace. All right, bro. Yeah, I'm just going to go over this, and I'm about to be out too. Thanks for tuning in. He said he's talking crap, saying, and he's not talking shit over there, saying to dislike my videos. He doesn't want any smoke with me, bro. He's not that type of guy. He doesn't want any confrontation, any YouTube beef, drama. Patreon, we can take it to Patreon, bro. I got a Patreon now. We can do a Patreon-only call, but I guarantee you he's not down, right? So with that being said, let's see what Khabib had to say. When you see him, tell him, Conor, the game has changed. Now you have to play like a grown-up man. There will no longer be locked buses with security inside and outside. Now you have to solve these problems alone. And if you do not want it, just say so. Everybody will understand. Damn, Conor. He said you can't hide behind buses. There's not going to be no buses, no security, no teams, no my crew versus your crew. If you want to meet me, we all know where it can happen. We are literally fucking contracted into the UFC, the only legal place. I can put these paws on you so you can keep throwing dollies. You can keep posting on social media. You can post with your dukes up on social media. You can do all of this. You can make interviews. You can make excuses. But we all know we need to meet in that octagon. And if we don't, then it's on you. Khabib says, I'm in it. I got the belt. Khabib has the belt. Now the move's on Conor McGregor. We'll see what happens. He's got to get his legal situation taken care of. But money talks, and Khabib versus Conor will be the greatest MMA fight of all time. And it looks like Khabib is ready. So with that being said, man, thanks for checking out this. Thanks for checking out this live stream. I'm about to log off for now. Let the full-time family know what you guys think in the comments. Now I'm out.